Hi, my friend. So today, the objective, or the intention, I should say, is to get a flow at the skate park. Every skate park has a slightly different or a drastic different layout. Today, I'm gonna be challenged simply because there's a lot higher quarter pipes that I'm used to compared to something like El Sereno. There's a pyramid, dimensions are different, and overall, just the how do I say it? Like the material that the skate park is built on is much more different than what I'm used to at Hollenbeck or something like El Sereno. So today's objective is just to kind of find out what the flow is for myself. Everyone's flow is different, but a great approach you can take to build your flow at any park is thinking about touching every obstacle, right? So it doesn't have to be the craziest trick you can do. That's a big mistake I did as I started to progress. I just was with the mentality of go big or go home. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about just doing very simple flowy tricks on every obstacle. So I started off with 180, and then I kind of got stuck, got off my board a bit over there, and then I dropped in and nose manied at the top. So I kind of lost flow there. It wasn't really smooth. It's a feeling and it's also a look. So a good thing you can do is film yourself, and see if you look like flowy. And flowy doesn't mean super majestic on the board. It just means where the speed is at a constant. You can think of it as being on autopilot. Are you on autopilot, or are you constantly braking and pushing, braking and pushing, where it's a little more rigid? So here the intention is to keep our skating in autopilot and get a flow. So something that I'm gonna piggyback on is just making sure if I get stuck, then I'm just gonna think, okay, what parts of this skate park haven't I played around with, right? So there's the banks, but even within the bank, there's the little quarter pipe, there's that pyramid, and then they have the flat bar. There's these two. Can I play around with doing some sort of transfer? Can I stall on all of them? There's a little back area to this park, but I'm gonna stay away from there because that's usually where my comfort zone is, what I gravitate to when I just kind of want to stay comfortable and maybe learn a new trick on that side. But today's intention is to get a flow and really, go through every obstacle. So Brian's gonna stay here. Please tell me you put it on video.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he's gonna zoom in and out because it's even difficult for me to navigate this park on the board. So you can zoom in. I'll do 10 tricks, right? And then I'll come back and I'll elaborate on this concept and my thought process. Ready?
Yeah.
Honestly, I forgot how many tricks that was, but I did an ollie, went up, went down, 50, 50. That's 3. Nollie back 180. After the nollie back 180, I did this Smith to regular, or fakie Smith to regular. That's like 6. Ooh, that's like 6. And then nollie 7 from board 8. Point is, I did around 10 tricks, and where I really lost flow was after that nollie back 180, right? This one I kind of got away with, the fakie Smith, but you saw that I still pushed so I can get more speed, and so that's something I need to work on. And if you find yourself not being able to do a line comfortably, try to figure out, how do you generate more speed where everything feels a bit more comfortable. So I'm going to do the same line and see if I can improve it with that in mind, to keep the speed, right? So I might do this 50 when I right before I got off the quarter or that mini ramp. I'm gonna do the 50 a little wider so I can get more speed on the pump, and I can maintain speed after I do the nollie back 180 on that pyramid, and we'll see how that happens. My intention is to get to the nollie and not lose any speed, right? I'll probably push a little bit, but the intention is to keep momentum, you know, keep that autopilot running. So I might even start from over here just to get a bit more speed. Ready? So I think that was a bit more flowy. Definitely felt it. I don't know if from your eyes or your views it looked that way. But another thing I realized is when I'm trying, you know, to do, I guess I would say lines, that's pretty much a line at this park, it's real hard for me to keep that speed. And so I'm not gonna stay stuck on this specific line. But like I said, I'm gonna go back to the idea of skating every obstacle. So I'm gonna go in the same direction, but skate a different piece of the park, right? So I hit this pyramid, ollied over. So maybe now I do a 50 on the bump to box. I go to the quarter, maybe I come to the pyramid. So I'm gonna start in the same place, but I'm gonna change it up a bit and touch different obstacles. So, ready?
Yeah.
That guy knows how to flow the park. Let's go. I'm going into it. Okay. Alright, so I got stuck. I wasn't prepared to do anything. After that 50, I kind of was going faster than I could control. And so that's a really eye-opener right there. So I'm thinking after the 50, I'm gonna be with the intention to do more of a stall. Okay. So that was horrible. It wasn't horrible, but there's room for improvement. You can see, let's be sneaky about showing his skating. You can see the momentum he keeps. It looks very flowy, right? So that's the objective. Even if there's a little pause, it feels more like a breath. Think about when you take a breath, you're not stopping, you're just giving yourself a breather. And so that's what I need to incorporate into this into this idea of flowing through the park as I, you know, do different tricks. So again, I'm trying to think what other obstacles I can hit. So I will start from this side. I'll do something a little more experimental, incorporate my skating, and go down and start from this position right here. So the other side of the ramp, and see where I go. I can't come back to you guys until I hit 10 tricks, okay?
thought you were coming back up.
Oh my goodness. Dude, I thought I could frontside ollie over this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so much work to do, right? But this is where it gets better, right? Because we start to feel uncomfortable, the insecurities pop up, and you start to really, if you allow it to help you progress, you start to really go into that progression that comes from discomfort. So, okay, what I did here was a complete fail. I don't know if I'm ready for this, but instead of trying to frontside ollie over this, I want to focus more on building my confidence. So I'm gonna go on the right side of it, and just do a frontside ollie on this bank instead of over this, right? I might be setting myself up for failure if I just try to get this, because I'm gonna start getting frustrated. I'm gonna start feeling like this is pointless, and I just resort back to what I'm comfortable with, where yes, there can be progress if you repeat and reiterate, but for now we're looking for progress in the discomfort. So here we go. Also, I was where I needed to incorporate a breath was after I ollie in and go up. I don't get off my board, I just breathe and I let myself come back down comfortably into a half cab or 180. I'm gonna do a fakey 180. So we'll see if I can incorporate the breath and then do a comfortable ollie right here. Okay, such an easy trick, and if I started from up there I can do it, but just simply doing it from here makes it so much harder. But like I said, it's a good challenge, good to get uncomfortable and find progress within that. Okay, is he on that side?
No.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Dude. Like I said, very uncomfortable. So, but this is the whole point of trying to skate different obstacles. If I didn't try to skate different obstacles, I would go to what's comfortable in the back. I would stay at the pyramid. I would stay on the bump to ledge. I would stay, doing, just doing simple tricks, right? And it's cool to enjoy the park and flow and stay in your comfort zone, especially when you're warming up. But once you start to find yourself in a repetitive cycle where you kind of hit more of a plateau where things aren't fun, you might want to explore just hitting different obstacles of the skate park and challenging yourself to incorporate breath into your lines and keep the momentum, right? Think about autopilot. You want to be on autopilot with even the most uncomfortable obstacles you may start skating. Look. This guy is good. Oh, that's so clean, bro. It looks so wavy. Okay, I'm mesmerized. I need to focus. Focus, guys, focus. Okay. That makes sense. That's a high vocabulary term, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Engage. Hashtag engage. Okay. Okay, so that one felt a bit smoother, definitely a little janky. What I learned from that one is I need to make sure I have the breather, even using the push as a breath. So I did front 180 and then I pushed through this pyramid so I can do the 50, but I didn't really incorporate that breath. So are you like,
The 0.5.
it's at 0.5? You feel very close. You guys are too close, bro. I need some personal space. Yeah, so just making sure I can incorporate some breath as I push. Okay, here we go. We're gonna incorporate some breath. How much time do we have?
15:40.
All right, cool. Right here, guys, right here. We're getting uncomfortable and we're progressing through that uncomfort, right? Or we're using that discomfort as a means to progress. Like I haven't even been skating for a year when I skate here. It's crazy. I still lost breath. Cardio isn't good for this park. A lot of times I would avoid coming to this park because I knew that I'm gonna look funny. Oh my god, you guys missed it. He just did a good front through. Okay, I knew I was gonna look silly trying to flow through this park, but that's the wrong mindset to have. The mindset you want to have is, what can I learn from this very humiliating experience?
Silly or like just the beginning?
Well, people, when we get in our heads and we think, oh, everyone's looking at me, oh, I'm like in people's way, oh, I look dumb, you know, like that's the thoughts, the intrusive thoughts that came to mind as I was, you know, when I first came to this park and I realized I cannot skate it, right? I would just skate very linear and not expose myself to a flow. And so if that's you, where you skate very linear and you avoid obstacles at a certain park, you know, you might want to try to get out of your comfort zone, experiment, even if you're not going to skate them all the time. You know, I'm not going to skate, you know, banks all the time. I really don't have any interest in it, but it's still good, and it can teach you a lot about how to control very basic tricks like a front 180. On flat ground, I have a front 180 very consistently, but when I come and do it on a bank, something like this, it's a little steeper, you know, dimensions are different. It becomes very difficult. So it can teach you how to better control your 180s, or just any other simple trick you might be trying on these, you know, different obstacles. So there's a lot that comes with being uncomfortable, because it's not about just getting into that state, but it's about being able to overcome that feeling of discomfort and find the lesson within that. Okay. So here we go. Here's another try. The objective is to do that 50. It's to do that 50 stall and then come and crook the bump to ledge and pop out, come back up. That's the end of the line. Okay. So I'm realizing when I get to this front 180, I'm popping too late, because I either have to go faster so I can get to the middle where I want to, or just do the front 180 a bit lower, or a bit closer to the beginning of the ramp, because I simply do not have enough speed. So we'll see if I get more speed, or I just do the front 180 lower. But like I said, it's front 180, push through 50 stall, and then crook, pop in. So we're gonna give it a go. Allow yourself to be humbled, peeps, and find the lesson, right? way better. I did pop it a little earlier instead of trying to go faster, because if I try to go faster, I'm gonna release more energy that I have. And so here we go, we're gonna do this. Also, something that I didn't mention is you start to also benefit from kind of refining your style. So sometimes there's a lot of dead space, or at least it feels that way, and I feel like I need to push faster, but allow yourself to not feel so much tension as you're in that discomfort. The natural state that your body is going to want to be in is a very tense state, where it's hard for you to do anything really, even push or your simple tricks, because you're in such an uncomfortable situation. By trying different obstacles, that's going to be just its natural, like natural state most of the time. So I want you to little by little kind of release that tension through breath and, you know, slowing it down, right? Not really skating with so much, not trying to skate with so much force. Intensity, there we go. There we go. Perfect word. But not so much intensity. I'm just missing that crap. I mean that crook. Wow, I said crap. That crook. Oh, okay. Clearly out of breath. But yes, it's already intense enough to skate different obstacles. You want to make sure you're not adding on to that intensity, but instead trying to mitigate that, lower that intensity.
Maybe you're not engaging, that's why you're getting tired.
Well, in this last one, I just started to engage. Literally, I felt like from the time I did the front 180 or back 180 to this, I had more speed, and so everything became a bit more comfortable compared to the beginning once I did the front 180. So I realized, little by little, I actually am reducing that tension that I feel. Trying this new flow, right? So it's working, guys. I'm so glad, because I feel like a hypocrite if I'm not feeling what I'm explaining you should feel. See, I lose so much. I lose all momentum at the end of that nose slide, which is supposed to be a crook. But I mean, you guys can let me know in the comments also, does it look flowier as I continue to repeat this, with the intention to include breathers in there, with the intention to make it a bit more comfortable? Does it look a bit more flowy? You can be the ultimate judge of that, but it definitely feels that way for myself. So yeah, right here. I think this one. Honestly, I need wax on that. So if I lock in really good but I don't make it, I'm just gonna call it there. But
just do a clean nose slide. Oh.
No, it's harder to do nose slide. That's why I'm going slow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, right here. Okay, I messed up because you saw me go through the pyramid on the second as I was going up the bank. Did you notice that?
No.
Oh, I got off balance, so can you give it another try?
of did it.
Huh?
Kind of did it.
I know. Okay, I need to reset.
Shit.
Hmm?
It's 26.
Okay. Oh, it's past 10 minutes. Went by quick. In the comments, let me know, you know, if there's a park you've been avoiding because it makes you feel like a quote-unquote beginner. And let me know that you're gonna go tomorrow if you can. Okay.
It's okay to be humbled.
It's okay to be humbled. That's where you progress. That's where, at least where I've seen myself progress, and pros who look like the best skaters ever until they go to a new skate park. Okay, so cover all grounds. Maybe that could be the title of the video. Cover all grounds.
Yeah.
Maybe. You let me know. That's it, I feel it. I definitely felt more controlled, like my breath was there the whole time. So that was a big win. Okay, I'm gonna give it one more.
Bro.
Okay.
You need a banana.
We're gonna get water after this, don't worry guys. Okay. I wanna talk. I wanna keep this moving, but I can't. I need to prioritize my breath. Alright. This one's it. Let me know. Okay, there's always room for improvement. Nonetheless, I got some improvement out of this challenge. I didn't really get to skating every obstacle, but that's the intention, right? Sometimes you get focused and actually get entertained with the challenge you found yourself in. And I think that's one of the best parts of this, is that you didn't even know you were gonna have such a fun time, you know, actually going through it with a certain line, because it may look simple, or you may think of this line and be like, oh, that's easy, I could do that, but then you figure out that there's so much more to unpack from that simple line, right? Because all these tricks for myself were very simple, but that wasn't the focus. The focus was to get a flow and skate the different obstacles, you know what I mean? So if the focus was to do tricks, then I would choose a flow that's so much more easier and contextual to my skating. So I would do something like, let's say, kickflip crook on the bump to ledge, come back, nose manny, nollie flip into the hubba. Who knows? That's not really very advanced, but it's contextual to my skating, and that's where I focus more on progressing with the tricks. Huh?
Advanced in what
Well,
sense?
with the type of trick. So
Noseman and ollie flip?
on bump to ledge, nollie flip into the bottom hubba, yes. What do you mean?
You said that's not advanced?
No, it isn't advanced.
Oh, I think you said it wasn't.
Oh, my bad. No, it's where I'm saying I can approach skateboarding in a more technically difficult sense where I do tricks that are technically difficult, but the way I'm approaching it is where prioritizing skating every obstacle and doing very technically easy tricks, right? Because wouldn't you agree, based off of my skating, which is why I say contextual to your skating, all these tricks that I did in the line are tricks that I have first try on, like very basic obstacles.
Yeah.
So why wasn't it as easy to do them here at this park? It's because the dimensions, it's because the layout of the skate park is different, and
Transitions.
the
transition.
but it's not, well, I don't know if this is called transition.
No, I'm saying you're transitioning from this obstacle to that obstacle. I'm not saying transition as the part.
Yeah, sure, just like the layout. I mean,
Yeah.
the layout of this park is a bit foreign to my skating. I've skated this park before. It's not completely foreign, but it's still not something I consistently skateboard. So for those reasons, I want to challenge myself and choose technically easy tricks, but just focus on the flow and finding where you're uncomfortable, and then fine-tuning that where it gets comfortable and you find progression in that. So having said that, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you guys like this park, or if you want me to do any specific trick or skate specific obstacles. I recently am doing, how to skate flat bars better, how to get better at pyramids and specific obstacles. So if you see an obstacle here, let me know what you want to get better at, and maybe I can use this park to demonstrate that. But yes, enjoy the rest of your day. If you're interested in lessons or coaching, hit me up at profe.carlos, or leave a comment, and we'll kind of start the initiation there. All right, have a great day. Peace out.